The second change that I want to, point out to folks that came up has to do with how we determine whether someone needs help. It used to be under the old rules that, you know, you had to need help with one of the activities of daily living. It could have been as simple as someone needed help housekeeping because maybe they're unsteady on their feet and they could fall, pushing a broom or a vacuum cleaner. And that was okay. And people could actually qualify and get help in the house in the form of community Medicaid. And home health aides get paid by Medicaid, come to the home. Now, there's going to be a need to prove at least a need for two of the, ADLs, the activities of daily living. Unless there's an exception, unless there is a diagnosis that the person suffers from Alzheimer's or dementia. Otherwise, they will have to prove that there's a need for two or more of the activities of daily living. And by the way, it used to be that we would get the doctors to do an assessment, and that person's personal physician would sign off on some forms and some paperwork. Now there's going to be an independent assessor, basically someone from Medicaid determining whether the applicant has a disability, probably someone that's never even met or been a patient of this doctor or assessor, which is kind of scary. So they really are kind of tightening their belt, and it's going to make it more and more difficult for people to avail themselves of the community-based Medicaid, which has been a long-standing hidden gem in New York State. I can tell you, in other states, this program is almost non-existent. Here in New York State, it's always been very generous, and it's helped people stay in the house. And New York State has always been very wise in permitting this. And the idea was, and people used to say to me, wait a minute, under the old rules, people, you're telling me that mom or dad could give things away and next month they could be eligible for this community Medicaid? And I go, yeah, as long as you made them poor. And people go, how is that possible? I mean, I don't get it. You're telling me my mom can give everything to my sister and I, and we make her poor, and next month she's entitled to get help in the house? I go, yeah. And they wouldn't understand it. And quite honestly, I always described it as a win-win-win for everyone. It's a win for mom because, I'm going to assume mom wanted to stay home, and if she could be home safely. It's a win for the family because the assets are preserved and mom gets to stay home safely with help in the house. And it's a win for New York State and the citizens of New York State because it's a heck of a lot cheaper to pay for these home health aides rather than rely on the family to try to figure it out. Have a lapse in coverage. Of course, that's when mom decides to take a shower and slips and falls and hits herself on the head, and now she might need to be in the nursing home, and now society or Medicaid or the citizens of New York are paying for this person to be in a skilled nursing home.